Okay. So good afternoon to all of you. So as this is our first lecture, so welcome you all for the online lecture series on the refrigeration and air conditioning subject. So before welcoming to the refrigeration and air conditioning subject, I welcome you all for the final year of BTech. So as this is our first day of academic classes of final year of BTech, so we'll start with the introduction of the subject. So for this semester, the subject which I am going to deal, that is nothing but the refrigeration and air conditioning. So first of all, as per our tradition, introduction of subject teacher. So this is the introduction of mine. So name of faculty. So I'm Mr. Sachin Madhukar Kare. I have completed my BE Mechanical and ME Heat Power. So total teaching experience is 9 years, and subject which I have taught till date are nothing but refrigeration, air conditioning, FM, then fluid machinery, fluid power, IC engine, then engineering mechanics and graphics. So contact detail, as you all are knowing, my contact detail, mail ID is nothing but smkale@coe.sweri.ac.in and mobile number. So as for this semester, so I will be the CC of your class. So for this semester, as this is the first semester or first semester of final year BTech, so somewhat syllabus is changed. So first of all, I will show the syllabus structure or which subject you have to deal for this semester. So total 5 subjects will be there for your this semester. Out of that, first subject will be refrigeration and air conditioning. Second subject will be automobile engineering. So for refrigeration and air conditioning, for both theory as well as practical, I'm I will be subject teacher as well as practical teacher. For automobile engineering, R.R. Gidde sir will be there for theory as well as practical. Then robotics and artificial intelligence. So this is the new subject which is being added in the BTech syllabus. So for this, previously there was AC subject, automatic control engineering subject. So there are some modification, or by doing some modification in that automatic control engineering subject, this new subject is being introduced for your 7th semester. That is nothing but robotics and artificial intelligence. Before that, whether my voice is clear, you can write in the chat box, and whether
Yes, sir.
PPTs
Yes,
are
sir.
visible. Whether PPTs are visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that robotics and artificial intelligence, that subject is being added, newly added in the syllabus of final year BTech. Previously, that subject was automatic control engineering. Then whatever fourth subject will be there. So professional elective 5. So under this professional elective 5, the subject which is allocated to you people is nothing but production and operational management. Before that, whatever this robotics and artificial intelligence subject is there. So for that robotics and artificial intelligence subject, Dr. S.S. Sonone sir will be the subject teacher as well as practical teacher. Then whatever fourth subject is there, that is nothing but professional elective 5. Under this professional elective 5, production and operational management subject will be there. So Dr. S.S. Wangikar sir will be the subject teacher as well as practical teacher for this production and operational management. And whatever last subject is there, last subject is related to the open elective. So under this open elective, subject allocated to you is nothing but the entrepreneurship development. So I think today first lecture was of entrepreneurship development only. So K.S. Pukale sir will be the subject teacher as well as practical teacher for that uh, entrepreneurship development subject. So apart from this 5 basic subject, there will be additionally 2 head in the curriculum. Out of that, first one will be the project work stage 1, and related to that project work stage 1, you have to give the seminar, and total marks allocated for that project work stage 1 in this semester number 7, will be 50 marks. So out of that, 25 marks will be related to the ICA. sorry, 25 marks will be there for project work stage number 1, that is related to the subject, that is related to the seminar. So uh, as per our tradition, we have formed the groups, project groups, and you all are knowing the who is your project guide. So you have to be always touch in with your project guide, and you have to decide the, or you have to finalize the project title as well as aim and objective. And after finalizing that project title, aim and objective, you have to start working related to the your final year project with your group. Then last head in this curriculum is nothing but the industrial training. So as per our university curriculum, so there will be one month industrial training will be there. So for that industrial training, one external oral will be there of 25 marks, and whatever report you are going to submit related to that report, 50 marks internal continuous assessment mark will be there. That means total 75 marks will be allocated for the heading called as the industrial training. So this is overview related to your semester number 7. Are you getting? So out of this subject, I'm going to deal with the subject ME 411, that is nothing but refrigeration and air conditioning. So if you see our subject refrigeration and air conditioning, so total theory hours allocated by the university are nothing but 3 hours, and for practical total hours allocated by university is nothing but 2 hours per week. So theory 3 hours per week and practical 2 hours per week. And total credit for this subject refrigeration and air conditioning will be, theory credit will be of 3 and practical credit will be of 1. And if you see the total weightage of this subject in our entire curriculum, then this subject refrigeration and air conditioning will have the end semester exam of 70 marks, then in semester exam of 30 marks. Then for this subject, POE will be there, practical oral examination. For this subject, POE will be there, that is nothing but practical oral examination or external examination or external oral, that will be of 25 marks, and term work will be of 25 marks. That means total weightage of this refrigeration and air conditioning subject in the curriculum will be 100 plus 50, that is nothing but 150 marks out of 750. So total weightage is nothing but 750. So out of that 750, 150 marks will be weightage for the refrigeration and air conditioning subject. Now we'll switch towards our subject, that is nothing but refrigeration and air conditioning. So before that, one important notice. So you might be knowing that the GATE exam forms are being released, or those are released, and last date for filling of the GATE exam or for registration of GATE exam is of 22nd of September. So as that GATE exam is important exam related to your for entry of various public sector undertaking, as well as for with the help of that GATE exam you can pursue your post graduation also. So I think everyone should you have to register for that GATE exam before the last date of registration, that is nothing but 22nd of September. So you have to preserve that screenshot of registration with you. So if a department will ask, then I need to provide you one Google form, and in that Google form you need to attach that registration or registration detail. And for that, college is also providing financial support. So if you are going to register for the GATE exam, and if you are scoring the non-zero score in the GATE exam, then I think there is one circular. So according to that circular, you will get some financial support from the college side related to your GATE registration fee also. So you have to register for that GATE exam also. That is also very much important. Now, related to our subject refrigeration and air conditioning, as I have told you the structure of this refrigeration and air conditioning subject. So in the teaching scheme, weekly 5 hours will be there. Out of that, 3 hours will be allocated. Out of that, 3 hours will be allocated related to the lecture and related to the practical. 2 hours will be allocated. That means total hours allocated for this subject weekly are nothing but 5 hours per week. And if you see the examination scheme, if you see the examination scheme related to this refrigeration and air conditioning subject, then so end semester exam, that means your university exam will have 70 marks weightage. In semester exam, ISC will have 30 marks weightage. Then ICA, internal continuous assessment, that is term work, will have the 25 marks. And POE, practical oral examination. So for this subject, you will have the 25 marks practical oral examination. So the basic difference between OE or POE, in OE, that means oral examination, external oral examination. So whatever that external examiner will be there, that external examiner will ask the basic theory question, related to the subject as well as related to the practical. But in POE, practical oral examination, in case of POE, practical oral examination, so that external examiner will ask, or that may ask, the basic theory question related to your subject as well as practical, as well as he may ask you to perform any of the experiment, take the reading, and do the calculation of the for obtaining the result. So here for our subject refrigeration and air conditioning, practical oral examination will be there. And whatever external examination or whatever external examiner you have faced up till now in the second year as well as third year, I don't know whether there was external examination for first year, but I know that for second year and for third year you have faced the external examination. So the basic difference between external examination that you have faced in the second and third year, and which you are going to face in the final year examination, final year, that will be in the second and third year, whatever external examiner were there. So those external examiner were from the our university itself. It is nothing but Solapur University. But for final year, whatever external oral or whatever external practical oral examination will be there, so for examining that oral or practical oral, whatever external examiner will be there, those will be out of the Solapur University, or will be from the another university. That external examiner may be from Shivaji University, that may be from Pune University, that may be from Batu, any from anywhere. But there will not be the external examiner from our university itself. So for final year, that is the major difference between external examiner. And one more thing, for your industrial training also, there is one external examination, oral examination of 25 marks. So for this industrial training also, whatever external examiner will be there, that will be from different university. That will not be from our university itself. So this is related to the subject or scheme of the subject. Now syllabus. So this is the first batch of new syllabus related to the refrigeration and air conditioning, because yours is the first batch of the BTech. So previously there was the B degree. So in the previous syllabus, so I may say that as an old syllabus. In the old syllabus, there were 8 chapter. Related to the subject refrigeration and air conditioning. And in the new syllabus, that means in the syllabus of BTech, those 8 chapters are being converted into 6 chapter. That means for this semester, we will have the 6 chapter, but not a single concept is being removed from that 8 chapter. So whatever old syllabus was there is some new addition in that old syllabus, and they have converted that into 6 chapter. So here for this refrigeration and air conditioning subject, we will have total 6 chapter. So out of that 6 chapter, section 1 will consist of 3 chapter, and section 2 will consist of remaining 3 chapter. But keep in mind that whatever old syllabus was there related to the BE, there were 8 chapters. All those 8 chapters are being converted or are being merged into 6 chapters. Not a single word or not a single concept is being removed from the old syllabus. Moreover, there is an extra syllabus which is being added in this new syllabus. So as I have told you that there will be 6 chapters. Out of that 6 chapters, 3 chapters will be for section 1 and the remaining 3 chapters will be for section 2. So first chapter first chapter is related to the basic refrigeration cycle and refrigerant. So first chapter will be related to the basic refrigeration cycle and refrigerant. So number of hours allocated by the university is nothing but 7 hours. And whatever this first chapter is there, that first chapter is divided into 3 sections or 3 parts. So first part is related to the air refrigeration, second part is related to the aircraft refrigeration, and third part is related to the refrigerant. Third part is related to the refrigerant. Now if you see the syllabus in the air refrigeration, what we have to study? First of all, we have to study what is by refrigeration, then what is the unit of refrigeration, then the basic refrigeration cycle is called as the reverse Carnot cycle. So we have to study or we have to analyze that reverse Carnot cycle with paper as a refrigerant. Then we have to study air refrigeration systems, then Bell-Coleman cycle. That Bell-Coleman cycle is called as a BCC. Then we have to calculate the COP. We have to calculate the COP of all those cycles. That is nothing but reverse Carnot cycle, air refrigeration system, Bell-Coleman cycle. So we have to calculate the COP. Then what are the advantages and disadvantages of Bell-Coleman cycle? What are the advantages and disadvantages of Bell-Coleman cycle? So this is the syllabus related to the part A. And here if you see numerical treatment, that means here in the part A, whatever systems we have to study, so we have to analyze those systems. That means we have to draw the PV and TS diagram. We have to analyze those systems with the help of PV and TS diagram of that reverse Carnot cycle, Bell-Coleman cycle. Also we have to calculate these values of COP and we have to solve the problem related to that air refrigeration. So this is the part A. Now whatever part B is there, so part B is related to the aircraft refrigeration. So whatever aeroplanes or whatever aircrafts are there, those aeroplanes or aircrafts are always provided with the refrigeration system or air conditioning system. So related to that also we have to study what is the necessity. First point which we have to study is nothing but what is the necessity to provide the air refrigeration system for aircraft. Then there are various types of that air refrigeration system which are being used in the aircraft. Those are nothing but simple air refrigeration system, then bootstrap air refrigeration system, then regenerative air refrigeration system, and last one is nothing but reduced ambient air refrigeration system. So these 4 systems we have to study under aircraft refrigeration. So here only descriptive treatment will be there, only theoretical part, but whatever these systems are there, so to explain those systems or to understand those systems, we have to draw the PV as well as TS diagram, or with the help of TS diagram also we can explain those systems. Are you getting? And whatever third part is there, third part is nothing but refrigerant. In the old syllabus, this refrigerant part was separate. There was separate chapter number 3 called as a refrigerant. So that chapter number 3 is as it is replaced in the chapter number 1. So it is the new addition under this unit number 1. So here third part of this chapter number 1 is nothing but refrigerant. So we have to study what are the different types of refrigerant, that is nothing but classification of refrigerant, then what are the desirable properties of the refrigerant, then how we can nomenclate for the refrigerant, That is nothing but nomenclature of refrigerant, because in the market you might have heard the name as R11, R12, R22, R21, or R134A, R1, R123A. So those are the various types of refrigerant, but the actual name of that refrigerant is different. That is, chemical name of that refrigerant is different. But whatever that R11, R12, R22, or R134A or R500, that is nothing but the nomenclature. So for different group of refrigerant, there will be the different nomenclature system. So that nomenclature system we are going to study under this point. So with the help of that nomenclature system, you will be able to identify the chemical name of that refrigerant based on the refrigerant number, or you will be able to find out the refrigerant number based on the chemical name also, vice versa. Then next point is nothing but selection of refrigerant for different application. Then what is meant by secondary refrigerant? Then effect of refrigerant on the ozone depletion as well as global warming. We are knowing that whatever chlorofluorocarbon refrigerants are there. So because of leakages of that refrigerant into the atmosphere or into the environment, so that will affect on the ozone depletion, and it will also cause the global warming. So how that is affecting on the ozone depletion, as well as how that is causing the global warming, that we have to see under this part number C. Then total equivalent warming impact, that is known as the TEWI. TEWI, that is called as a total equivalent warming impact. So this is the one of the most important parameter, total equivalent warming impact, TEWI. This is one of the most important parameter based on which we can select the refrigerant for the particular application. So what is the exact meaning of that TEWI, that we will see. Then what is the meaning of alternative refrigerant? Alternative refrigerant and use of any software for refrigerant properties. So here nowadays we are using software. We are using software for finding out the various properties of the refrigerant. That means what will be its boiling point, what will be its freezing point, what will be the enthalpy of that refrigerant. So whatever various thermodynamic properties are there, as well as physical as well as chemical properties are there. So to understand or to determine those properties, we are using the software. So with the help of that software, we are able to know what are the different physical, chemical, as well as thermodynamic properties of any of the refrigerant. So this is related to your chapter number 1. So heading of chapter number 1 is nothing but basic refrigeration cycle and refrigerant. Whether my voice is proper, please reply.
Yes, sir.
Whether PPTs are visible.
Yes, sir. Visible.
Okay, no problem. So this is related to your chapter number 1. Now whatever chapter number 2 is there, so chapter number 2 is nothing but the vapor refrigeration system. Vapor refrigeration system. So total hours allocated for this chapter number 2 is nothing but 8 hours. Total hours allocated. So with the help of this syllabus, you can imagine but how much that big syllabus will be there. So previously in the old syllabus, whatever this part A was there, vapor compression refrigeration system, so that part A was in chapter number 1. That means previously also there were 3 sections in the chapter number 1. First one was related to the air refrigeration, second one was related to aircraft refrigeration, and third one was related to vapor compression refrigeration system. But that vapor compression refrigeration system is shifted into the chapter number 2, and whatever our chapter number 3 refrigerant was there, that is being merged in the chapter number 1. So here whatever chapter number 2 is there, that is called as a vapor refrigeration system. That is called as a vapor refrigeration system. So that vapor refrigeration system will be again classified or will be again divided into 2 parts. First one will be called as a vapor compression refrigeration system, and the second part will be the vapor absorption refrigeration system. So in the old syllabus, that vapor absorption refrigeration system was a separate chapter, chapter number 4, but that is being merged in the chapter number 2. Not a single point is being removed or being skipped from that content. Additionally, some points are being added. So here, paper refrigeration system, 8 hours will be there. That will be divided into two parts: paper compression, paper absorption. In that paper compression refrigeration system, what we have to study? Paper compression refrigeration system working with simple paper compression system, that is called as a FCRS system. That is called as a FCRS system or FCC system. Then we have to represent that FCRS system on TS and pH chart, or on TS and pH diagram. TS and pH diagram, that FCRS system on TS and pH diagram. Then we have to study different points related to vapor compression cycle, that is nothing but vapor compression cycle, subcooling. Then what is meant by superheating, then effect of subcooling as well as superheating on the COP of that refrigeration system, that is nothing but analysis and performance calculation of above cycle. Analysis and performance calculation of above cycle. That means we have to study the effect of different parameter. We have to study the effect of different parameter on the performance of FCRS under that analysis and performance. Again, separate point is there: effect of operating parameters on performance of FCC, actual vapor compression cycle, and methods of improving COP. Methods of improving COP. So here, if you see numerical treatment, that means whatever this part A will be there. So for that part A, we will have the numericals based on the vapor compression system or types of various vapor compression refrigeration system. Then whatever part B will be there. So name of part B is nothing but vapor absorption refrigeration system. So under this vapor absorption refrigeration system, we have to study what is meant by vapor absorption refrigeration system. That is nothing but introduction, working of simple PARS system. That vapor absorption refrigeration system is called as a PARS. PARS, and vapor compression refrigeration system is called as a FCRS system. So working of simple vapor absorption refrigeration system, then practical vapor absorption refrigeration system, then desirable properties of binary mixture. Binary mixture means we have to find out the desirable properties of aqua ammonia. Then COP of ideal vapor absorption refrigeration system. COP of ideal vapor absorption refrigeration system. Then next one is called as a LIBR absorption refrigeration system. LIBR means lithium bromide. LIBR is called as a lithium bromide vapor absorption refrigeration system. The next system is called as a three-fluid refrigeration system. That three-fluid refrigeration system is called as a Electrolux refrigeration. That is also called as a Electrolux refrigeration. So in market, there is one refrigerator that is called as a Electrolux refrigerator. So whatever that Electrolux refrigerator is there, that is working based on this vapor absorption refrigeration system, or that is also called as a three-fluid refrigeration system. Why it is called as a three-fluid refrigeration system? Because it will consist of three fluid as a working medium. Out of that, one will be ammonia, one will be hydrogen, and one will be aqua, that is nothing but water. So as three fluids are consisting in the system, that is called as a three fluid refrigeration system. Okay. Then what are the various applications of vapor absorption refrigeration system? And last one is nothing but the comparison between vapor compression refrigeration system, VCRS, and vapor absorption refrigeration system, that is nothing but PARS. So comparison between VCRS and PARS. So this is also whatever part B is there. So related to part B, only descriptive treatment will be there. Descriptive treatments means theoretical as well as indication of those diagram, representation of those diagram on the PV and TS diagram. Wait for 1 minute. All of you, please wait for 1 minute. Okay. So this is related to our chapter number 2. Then whatever chapter number 3 will be there, that is last chapter from this section, that is related to the multi-pressure refrigeration system. Chapter number 3, multi-pressure refrigeration system. So total number of hours allocated for this chapter are nothing but 5 hours. Number of hours allocated for this chapter are nothing but 5 hours. So here, this chapter is also consisting of a combination of 2 chapters. In the old syllabus, whatever A part was there, so this A part was your chapter number 2, that is nothing but multi-pressure system. And whatever this B part was there, that was your chapter number 8, that is nothing but introduction to cryogenic. But in new syllabus, chapter number 2 and chapter number 8 is being combined, and that is formed as a chapter number 3. That is nothing but multiple pressure refrigeration system. Multiple pressure refrigeration system, that is also consisting of 2 parts, or that is also divided into 2 parts. First one is nothing but related to multi-pressure system, and second one is related to introduction to cryogenic. So out of that, first one is nothing but introduction, then what is by multi-stage compression, study, then we have to study the complete stage system and complete, or that is also called as a multi-evaporative system. So this is the content which were there in the multi-pressure system. But in addition to this content, here part B is being added. So part B is related to the term called as a cryogenic. Cryogenic means it is one of the refrigeration system where we are maintaining the temperature, where we are maintaining temperature below minus 150 degrees centigrade, below minus 150 degrees centigrade. So that is called as a cryogenic. So there are various applications, or in the various applications we require to maintain the temperature, that is in medical field as well as in chemical field. Here we require to maintain the temperature of that substance below minus 150 degrees centigrade. So to produce that temperature below minus 150 degrees centigrade, we have to have the cryogenic. So here part B is related to the cryogenic. So here we are going to study introduction to cryogenic, then limitations of vapor compression system for production of low temperature, introduction to cryogenic, then limitations of vapor compression system for production of low temperature. Then next part is cascade refrigeration system. Then next one is Linde system for liquefaction of air application. Sorry, Linde system for liquefaction of air. Then applications of cryogenic. So here this chapter number 3 will be entirely descriptive treatment. Chapter number 3 will be entirely descriptive treatment. So this was related to our section number 1. Now whatever section number 2 is there, so whatever this section number 1 is there, that section number 1 is completely related with the word called as a refrigeration. Section number 1 is completely related with the word called as a refrigeration, and whatever section number 2 is there, that section number 2 will be completely related with the word that will be called as a air conditioning. So section 1 is related to the refrigeration, though we are saying subject name as a refrigeration and air conditioning, but the meaning of refrigeration is different and meaning of air conditioning is different. So whatever first 3 chapter were there, so first 3 chapter are completely related with the refrigeration, and whatever this section 2 will be there, that will be completely related with the air conditioning. So in that air conditioning, whatever unit number 4 will be there, chapter number 4, that will be called as a psychrometry. So that psychrometry is a Latin word. The actual meaning of that psychrometry is nothing but study of moist air, because in case of air conditioning, we are doing the processing on the air, which is atmospheric air, and that atmospheric air is always moist air. So whatever this unit number 4 will be there, that is called as a psychrometry. So total number of hours allocated for this chapter unit number 4 is nothing but 7 hours. So here, first point is nothing but introduction, then psychrometric terms, then Dalton's law of partial pressure. You might have heard that Dalton's law of partial pressure in the physics. So with the help of that Dalton's law of partial pressure, or we are going to use that concept of Dalton's law of partial pressure in the psychrometric relations. So there will, then we have to study various psychrometric relations, then enthalpy of moist air, then use of psychrometric table and psychrometric chart, or here we have to use the steam table. So whatever psychrometric table is there, psychrometric table is nothing but here by using the steam table, you might have used that steam table in the thermodynamic. So by using the steam table, that means by observing the various properties related to the temperature, pressure, enthalpy, then again that partial pressure with respect to temperature and pressure of that moist air, that is nothing but water plus steam, that is called as a moist air. Then separate chart will be there, that will be called as a psychrometric chart. Then there will be the various processes related to the psychrometric, 8 processes will be there, that will be called as a psychrometric processes, combination and calculation, then SHF, BPF and ADP coiled condition line. Out of that SHF, that is called as a sensible heat factor line, that is also called as a sensible heat factor. BPF, that is called as a bypass factor. ADP, called as a apparatus dew point temperature, or apparatus dew point temperature coil condition line. Then air washer and its application, air washer and its application. So this is related to your chapter number 4 called as a psychrometry. So there will be numerical treatment, there will be numerical treatment for this chapter number 4. Now if you see, chapter number 1 is also having the numerical treatment, chapter number 2 is also having the numerical treatment, only chapter number 3 is not having the numerical treatment. Again, from section 2nd, chapter number 4 will also have the numerical treatment, chapter number 5 will also have the numerical treatment. So whatever chapter number 5 will be there, the name of this chapter number 5 is nothing but heating and cooling load calculation, heating and cooling load calculation. So this is the basic step before designing of any of the air conditioning system. That means you have to first of all calculate the heating load or cooling load. So how to calculate that heating or cooling load? Related to that, this chapter number 5 will be there. Number of lectures allocated for this chapter are nothing but 8 lectures. Number of lectures allocated are nothing but 8 lectures. This chapter is also converted into, or also divided into 2 parts. First one, part A, second one, part B. So out of that part A, that is nothing but a representation of actual air conditioning process by layout and on psychrometric chart, representation of actual air conditioning process by layout and on psychrometric chart. Then second point is load analysis by RSHF, GSHF, and one more point is there, that is called as a ERSHF. ERSHF. So out of that RSHF is called as a room sensible heat factor line. GSHF, that is called as a grand sensible heat factor line, and ERSHF called as a effective room sensible heat factor line. So we have to study these 3 parameters called as a RSHF, GSHF, and ERSHF. Then next point is enumeration and brief explanation of the factors forming load on the refrigeration and air conditioning system. So here for this part A also there will be numerical treatment. There will be numerical treatment. Are you getting? So this is the part A from the chapter number 5. Now whatever part B is there, that part B is called as a comfort condition. Part B is called as a comfort condition. So here related to that comfort condition, we have to study what is meant by human comfort, then thermodynamics of human comfort, Thermodynamics of human comfort means heat exchange between human body and environment. Heat exchange between human body and environment. That means we are knowing that our normal body temperature is near about 37 degrees centigrade. Normal body temperature is near about 37 degrees centigrade. And whatever that normal body temperature we are maintaining in our body, that is being maintained by using the one control mechanism that is called as a vasomotor control mechanism. And with the help of that vasomotor control mechanism, we are exchanging heat, where that means our human body is always exchanging heat with the environment. So that is called as a thermodynamic of human body. Then there is one chart called as a comfort chart. So comfort and comfort chart we have to study. Then there will be the different parameters or factors which are affecting on the comfort. So that factors affecting on the human comfort, that also we have to study. Then concept of infiltration and ventilation. Concept of infiltration and ventilation, and indoor air quality requirement. Indoor air quality requirement. So these will be the points which we have to study under this part B called as a comfort condition of unit number 5, heating and cooling load calculation. Heating and cooling load calculation. Are you getting? So this was our chapter number 5. Now last chapter from this syllabus. Last chapter from this syllabus is nothing but air distribution system. So whatever this air distribution system is there, that is completely related with the term called as a duct. So here air distribution system, number of hours allocated for this chapter is nothing but 5 hours. So this air distribution system is also being converted or divided into two parts. First one is related to the duct, and second one is related to the air handling unit or air handling equipment. So related to the duct, we have to study what is meant by duct, then what are the different classification of duct, then which material we are using for production of duct, then what are the different pressures which are acting inside the duct, then how flow will be there through the duct, then what are the different pressure losses which are acting in the duct. That means as like our flow through pipe, here also whenever any fluid will be passing, here fluid will be air, conditioned air. So whenever that conditioned air will be passing through the duct, there will be again two types of losses that are nothing but pressure losses, that are nothing but major losses as well as minor losses. So out of that, major losses will act because of the friction, and minor losses will be acting because of change in velocity, either in magnitude or in direction. So this is related to pressure losses which are acting in the duct. Then air flow through the simple duct system. Then what is meant by equivalent diameter. Then methods of duct calculation or methods of duct design system. So under that duct design system, three systems will be there. First one will be called as the equal friction method. Second one will be called as a velocity reduction method. And third one will be called as a static regain method. First one, equal friction. Second one, velocity reduction. And third one is nothing but static regain method. So here we will have the numericals on the duct system design. That means related to the equal friction, velocity reduction, and static regain method, we will have the numerical. In the previous old syllabus, that numerical part was not there related to the duct design system. Only theoretical part related to the equal friction method, velocity reduction, and static regain method was there. But here that numericals on the duct system or duct design system is being added, as well as whatever this B part is there, that is completely added in this chapter number 6, newly added. So here the newly added part is nothing but what is by air handling unit, then fan coil unit, then types of fan which are used in the air conditioning application. Then there will be various laws related to the fan, that is called as the fan laws. Then filters, supply and return grills, sensors. So in air handling unit, we will have the different sensors. Those are nothing but humidity sensor, temperature sensor, and smoke sensor. So related to that sensors also we have to study. So this is nothing but our chapter number 6 from the second section 2. So that is called as a air distribution system. So this is the entire syllabus. This is the entire syllabus related to our subject called as a refrigeration and air conditioning. Are you getting? Is there any problem? Whether my voice is proper or clear? Can anyone tell me? आवाज येतोय का सगळ्यांना व्यवस्थित? What about remaining student? Whether my voice is clear? Okay. Whether PPTs are visible, properly visible? Okay. So this is related to the syllabus of subject called as the refrigeration and air conditioning. Now, related to the practical syllabus, because as we are knowing that there will be the practical oral examination, external oral examination or practical oral examination related to this subject. So here we have to conduct the various practicals. So whatever practicals of this refrigeration and air conditioning subject will be there, that will be basically classified or will be divided into 3 parts or in 3 groups. So out of that first group will be related to the study type of practical. That means you have to only study, demonstrate of any 4 assignment on the following. So here we have to only study related to this any of the 4 assignment. So no performance will be there in the group 1. Whatever group 2 will be there, that group 2 will be a performance type of experiment, and whatever group 3 will be there, that group 3 will be related to industrial physics and by writing program, C language or MATLAB, related to calculation of performance of any of the apparatus. So out of that group 1, so in the group 1 study type of experiment, we have to study any 4 assignment. Out of that, first assignment is related to study of refrigeration method. So there are basically 8 to 10 methods by which we can produce the refrigeration effect. So those all the refrigeration methods we have to study under this first assignment or first practical, study type of practical, that is nothing but study of refrigeration methods. Second one is nothing but study of refrigeration equipment. So whatever refrigeration system will be produced or whatever refrigeration system will be there, that will consisting of different parts such as compressor, condenser, expansion device, evaporator, and those compressor, condenser, expansion device, evaporator will have the different type. So according to application, we have to choose the selective or we have to choose the proper refrigeration equipment for the proper application. So second experiment will be related to study of refrigeration equipment. Whatever third experiment is there, that is related to study of refrigeration system. So under this study of refrigeration system, domestic refrigerator, split air conditioner, ice plant, deep freezer. So we have to study the working principle of this various refrigeration system. Then next one is study of charging, leak testing of refrigeration system, how to fill the refrigerant inside the refrigeration system, how to test for the leakage of refrigerant. That will be covered under this experiment number 4. And experiment number 5 will be related to the case study, any one of the following. So out of this 3 case study, you have to do the case study for any one of the application. So out of that, first one, refrigeration and air conditioning system used in space station, satellite, rockets, and submarine. Second one is refrigeration and air conditioning system used in automobile. Third one, methods used in cooling of supercomputers and servers. So out of these 3, any one case study you have to study. Then whatever part B will be there, that part B or group 2 will be related to the performance type of experiment. So there will be total 5 performance. Out of that 5 performance, we have to perform any 3 of the experiment. So out of that, first experiment is nothing but refrigeration primer, trial on refrigeration primer. Second one is trial on mini ice plant. Third one is nothing but trial on vapor absorption system. Fourth one is nothing but trial on air conditioning tutor. And last one is nothing but trial on heat pump. So out of these 5, we have to perform any 3 experiment. So this is performance type of experiment. And group 3, any one out of the following. So here we have to visit the refrigeration plant or central air conditioning plant, or we have to do the performance evaluation of any one of the trial. Here, whatever any one trial will be there by using MATLAB or C programming. MATLAB or C programming. So this is related to our syllabus as well as syllabus, that is nothing but theoretical syllabus as well as practical syllabus. So for our this first unit, first lecture, this much will be sufficient. Now what is the time? Okay, at the time is 1:27. So it's our lecture is going to end. So I will call the roll number. So today I have put a roll number or that roll numbers on our group. Small changes are there in the roll number. By observing that roll number, you have to give the attendance. Roll number 1, 2,
Present, sir.
3, 3 absent, 4, 4 absent, 5,
Present, sir.
4 present. Okay, 5,
Present, sir.
6, roll number 6, absent, 7, 7 absent, 8,
Present, sir.
9, roll number 9 absent, 10, 10 absent, 11,
Yes, sir.
किती आदमीले 10 आहे का 11?
11, sir.
11, okay. Roll number 12, 12 absent, 13 absent, 14,
Yes, sir.
13, 13 present. Okay, 14,
Present, sir.
15,
Present, sir.
16,
Present, sir.
17, 17, 17 absent, 18, 18 absent. Okay, 19,
Present, sir.
20,
Present, sir.
21, 21 absent, 22,
Yes, sir.
23, 23 absent, 24 absent, 25,
Present, sir.
26,
Present, sir.
27, backward, absent, 28, absent, 29, absent, 30,
Present, sir.
31, 31, absent, 32,
Present, sir.
33, absent, 34,
Present.
okay, 35, 35, absent, 36, absent, 37, absent, 38, absent, 39, absent, 40, absent, 41, absent,
Present,
42,
sir.
किती? 41 present. Okay.
Present,
42,
sir.
okay. 42, absent, 43,
Yes, sir.
absent,
Yes, sir.
43, okay. 44,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
45,
Yes, sir.
45, 46,
Yes, sir.
45 present, 46,
Yes, sir.
47, 47 absent, 48, absent, 49,
Yes, sir.
50,
Present, sir.
51, roll
Present,
number
sir.
51, 52,
Present, sir.
51 present, 52, 53,
Yes, sir.
54, 53 present. Okay. 54 absent. 55,
Present, sir.
56, 56 absent. 57 absent. 58 absent. 59 absent. Roll number 60.
Present, sir.
किती?
Present, sir.
57.
57.
पड़ गए. रोल नंबर किती? ओके. 58 absent, 59 absent, 60 absent, 61 absent, 62,
Present, sir.
63,
Present, sir.
64, 64 absent, 65,
Present, sir.
66 absent, 67 absent, 68.
Present, sir. Sir,
किती?
67 is present.
Okay. 68 absent. Okay. 68 absent, 69 absent, 70 absent, 71 absent,
Yes, sir.
71. Okay. 72, 72 absent, 73 absent, 74 absent.
Yes, sir.
किती?
74, sir.
74. Okay. 75. Last roll number किती? 75 absent, 76 absent, 77
Sir, 40 present.
absent. Okay.
Sir,
40.
40.
Oh, I will call the absent roll number. Roll number 1, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, 17, 21, 23, 24, 27, 28, 29, 31, 33, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 42, 47, 48, 52, 54, 56, 58, 59, 60, 61, 64, 66, 68, 69, 70, 72, 73, 75, 6, 7. Okay. Now you can exit the lecture. Thank you for attending the lecture.
Sir, hello, sir.